Hello and welcome back to JBCTR, and today we're looking at the SeaSucker Talon roof-mounted bike rack. Okay, and this is what you get in the box. Now, I will be honest, I had absolutely no intention of making a video on this at all, so I've already opened it, used it, all that kind of stuff. But there were loads of you who were asking me about it after seeing pictures of it, so I thought I'll show you what it is. So in the box, essentially you get the front SeaSucker mount, the rear SeaSucker mount, a couple of tools, a strap for holding your pedals. I'll talk about that when we get it on the car. A mount for a standard front hub mount, which is quick release, and that means you can put a quick release front wheel straight into there, and also some lube and a spare suction pump. Now, the first issue I came across with this is that my bike does not have a 9mm quick release front hub. In fact, I have a 15mm non-quick release bolt through hub, which then meant I had to buy these little gold things here, which just sort of slot in and out. Now, these are machined aluminium, I believe, with a little rubber seal on them. And you want a pair of these? Well, they're quite expensive. I think they were about £30, which I think is a bit of a rip-off. They should really come in the box, so this thing can be adapted for any bike. But as it stands, you have to pay extra if you don't have a bike with a standard quick release, which is a bit of a pain. But that said, this thing here at the front, which holds your forks, SeaSucker called this Husk, which is H-U-S-K-E, which stands for Hub Standards Keep Evolving. So presumably they were a little disgruntled at the fact they had to keep changing their design in the early years, so they came up with this mount here. In terms of building this thing, all I had to do was bolt the Husk fork mount onto the top, and then it was ready to go. So yeah, that's what you get in the box, and let's get it on the car. Okay, so firstly we need to work out where we're going to mount this on the roof. Now, SeaSucker suggests that you put this either on the left or the right hand side of your roof, because then the structure of the roof is stronger towards the edges. If you put it in the middle and you've got a metal roof, then the metal may flex and then you may see your bike moving. So if you put it towards the edge on a metal roof, then you're less likely to have flex within your roof. Now, before we start, as you can see, I've got these white caps. These are supplied. They should remain on the suckers at all times, just to protect them during storage. But otherwise, you just simply pull them off, like so, and then you stick it on the roof. Now, once you've chosen where you want to mount your rack, you simply push down on the one sucker that you want to stick down, and then you press this until the orange goes away, and you'll also see that the sucker is going down. And now you can probably see that the orange has now disappeared on this one, and that means that this suction cup is now at full strength, and I can even move the car just on one. So that gives you an idea of the strength of these things. Now, I am sticking this to glass. These suction cups were originally designed for carrying big industrial sheets of grass, so it actually suits this application quite nicely. The only downside to doing one cup like that, as you can see that all the other cups have now come up off the glass. So what you need to do is push them down. There is a bit of flex in this board until they make contact with the surface and then start to pump.
Let her know, I gotta let her know that she my white horse, she my medical. She like my baby mama, know how to take care of me. Give my baby problems, you gon' regret every day. So I let her know, gotta let her know.
So that is the front one mounted, and you've just got the rear one to do, which is super easy, being a singular sucker. So again, remove it, make sure the pad is clean, make sure your roof is clean, and then just have a guess, basically. That helps you put it on the right way around. Now it's just a case of grabbing your bike, removing that front wheel, and we can put it on the roof.
But now
Now, and lastly, this is quite an important step, is this little red tape thing which is supplied with it. Now, your pedals could potentially hit the roof. Mine don't really, but if you've got a lower bottom bracket, they might, which is why this has been supplied. So it's always good to tape up your pedals against the frame here, like that, and then it means you're not going to damage your roof. So there you have it, that's how you put a bike on the roof of any car using a SeaSucker roof mount. I'm going to go get changed and then we'll head down to the trail centre so you guys can see what this looks like when it's on the road.
Take me for a ride. I still need your fire, baby. I still want you by my side. Light me up, let me touch the flame now, baby. I'm your phoenix tonight. Come on and ride.
Okay, so now we've arrived. Removing the bike is almost the same process as it was installing it. So we'll crack on with that and then I'll tell you all about the little changes when we get to it. So that is the bike off the car, as you can see, and with any other rack, now would be the time that we can just go off and have fun. But unfortunately, the downside to this rack means that there's no lock on it. So if you leave it on the car like this, someone could quite easily come and nick it. So we need to remove it, and there's a few steps we need to follow when removing this thing. So let me crack on. Now, as you can probably expect, removing all these suction pads, they're all exactly the same to remove. So you've got these little tabs here, simply pull them up, and then that is your suction cup off. And before we can put it away, SeaSucker recommends that you put these white protective caps on the cups every time you're not using it, even when you're just going out for a trail. That's because it helps protect the cups and also keeps them, well, ensures that they hold their shape. So that's one on, and then just the other two to do. So yeah, not too bad, but a little extra faff over a standard roof rack. Now it's time to go shred. And shred complete. So today was actually a bit cleaner than I was expecting for this time of year, and all that is left to do now is to get the bike back on the car. Now, of course, I've already shown you how to do that, so I won't put you through that again, but I have one last tip. And that tip is that you always carry a quick detailer and a little microfiber with you too. And because that means you can then give your roof a little bit of a spray where you can put your SeaSuckers, give it a cheeky wipe, and that should just get rid of any debris that's sort of fallen on your roof whilst you've been out on your bike. And then there you go. And then you can also use this to clean the actual rubber pads of the SeaSucker to make sure you get a properly nice connection for your way home. And with that, I think we're losing the light, so we'll call it a day. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you found this review helpful, useful, and if you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of me, the Fiesta, maybe some bike stuff, might need some more bike stuff, don't know, then feel free to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.
There goes a sight from my soul.